playing these popular games and answering questions that people might be asking about them, questions that aren't being answered by these channels with millions of subscribers. Using your videos to ask questions and answer them is key to growth. We did it on this video. How do you grow your gaming channel for free? That was the question that we've seen people ask us, so that became the title of our video. Continue providing value in every video whenever you can, and you'll go a long way. Listen, I don't play popular mainstream games. I'm always on the cutting edge, playing the latest greatest thing. Remember when I said a little while ago that the gaming coin has two sides, both revolving around popularity? As the game gets older, of course, its popularity does die down, so I would always tell you to make sure the game you're playing is something that people are searching for. If it is an older game, does it have a loyal community that's still looking for new content? A lot can be said, though, for playing a game that's brand new, maybe an indie game, that nobody's really found yet. Sticking, of course, to your niche, your genre that your audience is used to you playing, try and find these indie games that you feel have a lot of potential. Do reviews, walk people through any new updates that come out, give them tips and tricks and tutorials that they would otherwise search for as the game grows and as it gets more popular. You might even have to get creative and answer questions that nobody's asking yet, but perhaps you asked yourself when you were learning. This method can require a lot of patience because sometimes a game developer takes their time publishing their game and marketing their game and getting it in front of a lot of faces. But I've had it happen to me where if I stick with the game long enough, one day I check YouTube and I have a spike in viewers, and it turns out that that game made it to the front page of Steam, and a bunch of people are asking the question, should I buy this game? Video game review. People
all of those so far, whatever you're doing.
That's more fun, funny, silly stuff. But I mean,
yes.
they are
No,
superstitions
you're saying
nonetheless.
I shouldn't worry about it. You know, I did a DNA test, and apparently I'm a little bit Albanian. I also happen to be a little bit superstitious, so maybe that's the root
Oh, really?
of that.
What's yours? What's some of
My
yours? Maybe I'll
superstitions?
take them on.
Well, they're mostly sports related, and if the team I'm rooting for is winning and I'm sitting in a certain position, I will stay in that position. And if bad things happen, I will move out of that position. It's ridiculous.
Okay. No,
but
I
it
get it.
works.
No, I totally, do you know what? I totally feel that. I think I've definitely done something quite similar.
It's very good to see you again. Thanks again for filling in for me over the summer. Dua Lipa, her album is Future Nostalgia. She's all over Instagram. We'll be right back. Thanks, Dua.
Thanks, Jimmy.
Take care.
Jimmy Kimmel Live. This is ridiculous.
I was watching you from home, and I was thinking, I hope he never comes back. I really...
Oh my god, I could do this for the rest of my life.
I'm Dakota Johnson. Let's see how much money I can fit in my mouth. Dad, are you watching this?
What a great skill.
That's $1,100.
I think you can go far with that.
Everyone's brokenhearted that the gap in your teeth is not there anymore. And fans are heartbroken. People are upset. No one knows what to say. What is going on?
Well, I was having a lot of neck problems recently, so my orthodontist, she decided that it would be a good idea to take it off and see if my jaw sort of expanded, and it helped me, and my gap closed by itself. And I'm really sad about it, too.
I broke this tooth. This one's fake.
Let me feel it.
It's not gonna feel different. It feels like a tooth.
Not if you go like this. Can you hear that?
Sounds like
It's
a
like
tooth.
when you knock on
Do
a
it.
hollow part of a wall.
Is that one fake too?
Are they both fake?
All of my teeth are fake. Yeah, actually, this one might be fake as well. Yeah, that's weird. So,
Yeah.
but let me tap on your tooth.
Okay. You don't have any nails.
Yeah, I don't have any nails. I know I took them off.
Oh, it's good to see you, Dakota.
It's good to see you, too.
You look fantastic. Did you try that on before you? Do you want a blanket or anything?
Sorry.
Here, let's put that right there.
Okay.
let's just put some more. How's that?
I feel
Good?
great.
All right, good. You turned 30.
I did.
And how was the party? I wasn't invited.
I did invite you and you didn't come. So,
This time you invited me?
yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
How do you know? I don't think so.
Ask everybody. Ask Jonathan, your producer. Who said
Okay.
you were?
I
Yeah,
was
he's right
invited?
there.
Why didn't I go?
I don't know.
Was it? Oh yeah, I had that thing. It was probably in Malibu. That's too far for me to go to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah. No, I think I do remember I was invited. Thank you.
You're welcome.
But Tig Notaro performed at your party?
She did.
She did a set?
She did. It was a surprise.
What did she do?
A bunch of funny stuff.
She's hilarious.
She's my favorite comedian.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they can't understand.
I have this crazy fake tattoo on my arm, and I didn't know that it was going to show in the.
Yes. Leap forward. We ride. On track. As you seconds to battle. Of course. Begins. Our time is at hand. Since you command it, forward, pet. To the battle. Forward by bounds. On the prowl. Agreed. Good idea. Good idea. Stop! Run like the dogs you are. Attack.
Oh, sweet.
Leap forward. Cringe you curve. Stop! Agreed. Forward by bounds. Good idea. As you will it. Whimper, dogs. On track. Good idea. Evil curs. Since you command it. Die, mongrel. Yes. We ride. We ride in perfect union. To the battle.
To me.
Scatter while you can. Of course. On the prowl. Cower before us. Forward, pet. Good idea. On the prowl. Ha! Forward by bounds. Ha!
First blood.
Yes. Yes. Tuck your tail and run, you mutt. Of course. Mutts! As you will. On Starfall! Good idea. Since you command it. Ha! We ride. Leap forward. Stop!
Your middle tower is under
Agreed.
attack.
Such power is ours. They should have run while they had that chance. Forward, pet.
Your top tower is under attack.
To the battle. Toward victory.
Your top tower is
Scatter
under
while
attack.
you can. Forward, pet. Of course. Forward by bounds. Agreed.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Run like the dogs you are. Since you command on the prowl.
Expected.
Pathetic well. Tuck your tail and run, you mutt. Evil curs! Yes. Good idea. On track. To the battle. Leap forward. We ride. As you will it. This grows interesting. Good idea. Die, Mongo. Cower be
Time is missing.
Timber dogs.
Back. You had your warning.
As you will it. Sparkles like the stars. Attack! Stars!
Here I am.
Forward by bounds. Forward, pet. We ride. Agreed. Yes. Our strength shall be ours. Since you command it. Again,
Your top
we
tower
run.
is under attack.
Good idea. To the battle. Thus, you pay. I'm under attack. Allies disappear. On track. On the prowl.
Your top tower is under attack.
Stop! Rain down on mine enemy! Good idea. Cringe you cur! Leap forward! Fair warning, your death has arrived.
Invisibility.
Perfect. Cower before us. The inner light dawns. Of course. Of course. To the battle. Starfall. Fair warning, your death has arrived. Yes. Forward by bounds. Forward, pet.
Over here now.
As you wish. This one's mine. Leap forward. Cringe you cur. Ah.
What have we here?
Ah.
Sound the death.
You rise.
Unstoppable. Where's the party? Blow the man down.
Agreed. Good idea. Inferno!
Your bottom tower is under attack.
We ride in perfect union. Mm-hmm. Good idea. Since you command it, vanish. On track. Evil curs! On the prowl. Forward, pet. Not a penny wasted. Since you command. Die, mongrel.
Haste.
On the prowl. Leap Leap forward. Good
Your
idea.
top tower is under attack.
Tuck your tail and run, you Matsu. Of course. As you will it. Agreed.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Wicked sick. Monster kill.
Towards victory. We ride. On track. To the battle.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
Good idea. Stop! It was not luck, but skill. Attack.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Forward by bounds. Yes. On the prowl. Good idea.
The enemy's bottom tower has fallen.
Perfect. As you will it.
Your top tower is under attack.
Forward, pet.
Your middle tower is under
To the
attack.
battle. Son of a... On track.
Blown away.
Your middle tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified.
We admit no defeat.
Double damage.
Of course. Shadow, take us.
Over here.
Starfall.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
Scatter while you can. You had no place here. Yes. I'm under attack. Agreed. Mm-hmm. Ha!
Your middle tower is under attack. Your middle
Since
tower
you command.
has fallen.
Good idea.
No one does this to me!
Forward by bounds. Leap forward. We ride. Leap forward.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
The prize is mine. Of course. I'm not ready. Run like the dogs you are. Stop! As you will. Die, mongrel. Evil curs! We ride.
Fucking not. Holy shit.
Ah. Ah.
Dire
On
structures are fortified. Your top tower is under attack. Your top tower has fallen.
On the prowl.
Mana?
To the battle. Forward by bounds. Cower before us. Not a penny wasted. Yes. Good idea. Bullseye. Mm-hmm. Tuck your tail and run, you mutt. Good idea.
Your bottom tower
I'm under
is under
attack.
attack. Your bottom tower has fallen. Your bottom tower is under
Forward,
attack.
then. Since you command it. Agreed.
Yeah. Ayaw eh.
Good idea. Forward, hit.
Double kill.
Your middle tower is under attack.
As you will it. Oh.
That's easy.
Ha!
What's this?
Such power is ours. We ride. Attack.
Your bottom
Agreed.
tower is under attack.
Out of my way! To the battle. Of course. On the prowl. Fantastic.
Fair warning.
Your time has arrived.
Fun begins. So support the devil.
Your top tower is under attack. Your middle tower is under attack. Your middle tower has fallen. Your bottom
Leap
tower
to it.
is under attack.
Yes, shadows take us. Leap forward. On track. Such strength.
Radiant's courier has been killed. Your middle tower is under attack.
Over here.
Your top tower is under attack. Your bottom tower is under attack.
What I miss?
You'll not stop us that easily.
Is that mine over here now?
Good idea. Yellow light. I'm under attack. Rimper. Forward by bounds. Bend. Start. Since you command. Scatter while sparkles like the stars. Cringe, you
Your
cur.
bottom tower is under attack. Your bottom tower is under attack.
Star.
Your top tower has fallen. Your middle tower is under attack. Your middle tower is under attack. Your middle tower is under attack. Your middle tower has fallen. Your top tower is under attack.
Allies disappear.
Your top tower has fallen.
Good idea.
Your top barracks are under attack. I am under attack.
We ride. It's not time yet.
Top is
On
missing.
the prowl.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
Battle Fury!
Your bottom tower is under attack.
No whining now!
Your bottom tower is under attack. Your top barracks are under attack.
Once more into the breach. Of course. Forward my bounds. Then, as you will. Yes.
Your middle barracks are under attack.
What is this?
Your middle barracks are under attack.
Agreed. On track. Leap forward. Yes. Stop.
Ayan, ano lang. Zero yung kauban. Oh, sir.
Your middle barracks are under attack. Your top barracks are under attack. Dire structures are fortified. Your top barracks are under attack. Your top barracks has fallen. Your middle barracks has fallen. Your middle tower is under attack.
Leap to it. We ride. This one's mine. Stop it! Inferno!
Your bottom tower is under attack.
Yes! Another put down.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
Yep.
On the prowl. Ah.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Take us.
Your middle tower is under attack.
As you will it. Since you command. Forward 5 hours. Bullseye. Starfall. Leap forward.
Radiant structures are fortified.
On track. We admit no defeat. Good idea. Die, Mongren. This grows interesting. Cringe you cur. Scatter while you can. Of course. Stars! Forward, pet. Allies disappear. Agreed. To the back. Evil curse. Bullseye. Starforce.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Take that. Itching for vengeance. Sorry, friend.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Juggernaut! I will defeat
Your middle tower is under attack.
Boy, stop whining. I'm back.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Again, we ride. Forward, pet. Perfect. Good idea. Since you command it, shadows take us. Leap forward. Run like a dog ball. Get out of my way! Fair warning. Your I will never bow.
Your turn to ban. Five seconds remaining.
Flame-breathing, fifth form tiger! Flame tiger! Welcome to Anime Movie Reviews. And we've got Joe here, we've got Alex here joining me on Anime Reviews for this very special edition, the Demon Slayer movie Mugen Train. Oh my gosh. So me and Alex just returned from the film. As you can tell, I got my mask on. We did our socially distanced thing. We had our masks on. And so we risked it. We drove up to the theater. Absolutely no one there. It was a ghost town. Check it out.
I didn't even know this place was open.
Wow, it's deserted. All these cars, these are the employees that are working here. Okay. Well, we'll be the only ones in there. Hopefully they still make the food. They got the one cook. Wow. We got in the theater. I think there was about 8, but by the end there was actually about 15, 16 people. And this is a 2:30 p.m. showing. And I was like, oh, that's kind of, that's really good. I feel really proud of the anime community. And we should, because this thing is killing it. First, let me say, holy fucking shit. I mean, I was already happy with good anime or good animation, like Invincible's series conclusion, but this makes that look like child's play. This movie was fucking amazing. You guys, basically, it was worth it. It was worth going to the theaters. I should have gone sooner to see it. Indeed. Because, wow, impressive action, amazing set pieces. The battles are fucking out of control. There's emotional storytelling, moving, I saw a few people. I saw a few people on Twitter. Oh my God, the music! Oh, the music is so fucking good. And on Twitter, they were like, "Waterworks incoming." Yeah, there was some emotion there, and I mean, just fucking legendary. What more can you ask for from a side mission, so to speak, in the Demon Slayer universe, where they get a mission, tasked to go take out a demon, maybe. There's a disappearance of a lot of people on this train, and so the Demon Slayers are obviously sort of kind of cops of the universe, trying to root out all the demons. They get sent over there by the master.
It's all fun and games
we
until
get
someone
just a fantastic roast demon. Very, very good battles and great teamwork. So I fucking loved it. Loved it. What'd you think, Joe?
Never done.
Joe's the one that told me you need to go see this.
Yeah, I was really looking forward to season 2. Then I found out they were making a movie. I was pretty excited. I was like, all right, I'll go check it out. So I did with my buddy Jeff.
Pet, thanks
and I fucking loved it.
If anything,
it picked up right where it left off. The fights are amazing. The humor in this is great as well.
I'm not crying, Joe. You're crying. I'm not crying. You're crying.
You're over the top, but overall, great.
Yeah, I mean, Demon Slayer's always known for being a little overly emotional, over the top, but it works in this.
I'll not argue.
Now, me and Joe have seen season 1 of Demon Slayer. It's on Crunchyroll. It's on Netflix. Alex is coming from a new fan perspective. You haven't seen the series yet, right?
Here's ice in your eye.
And so you've only seen the movie. So this is a great opportunity to get your perspective.
I'll freeze you fast.
Because I think the one thing with the film, if I might have any criticism, it's like I kept looking over at Alex and kept wanting to lean over and be like, okay, so. But I was like, no, maybe the film will do it itself. I'm just gonna let try to figure out on his own and talk to him later. So what did you think from a new person's perspective?
I mean, I really liked the movie. I think the movie did not do a wonderful job for new people. I'm glad that I actually looked up. I mean, we've talked about it before. I mean, especially working with Crunchyroll. It's like I've gone through and been like, oh, this looks kind of cool. What is the story? So I kind of knew what the base story was, and it does not do a wonderful job. It's like explaining who these characters are.
I don't think it does any job.
Well, it's like
it puts you into the fucking deep end.
Is that what's in the box?
Right.
Did a human being just come out of the box? What the hell is happening with that? Why does that guy have a forehead? Who is that person?
Yeah.
And it's like, it doesn't do a very good job. So that throws you in the deep end. Now, that being said, I knew the list of characters.
Yeah.
I knew roughly what the story was. And with that basic information, I really enjoyed the majority of this film. There's one sequence of this movie where I think it goes off the deep end even with anime.
Yeah.
And I think it kind of sucked the air out of the room, and it
That
really
scene where
it
I'm
halted
with you.
momentum.
I'm with you on that.
And then once that scene ends, and then it goes way beyond what everything was before, so it finishes incredibly strong.
Wow, you'll have to tell me
this
the scene.
goes.
We'll talk about that in spoilers.
But even for someone who's not familiar with the anime, I think that this is something that if you can just like
Here's
the
ice in your
top of Wikipedia, Crunchyroll that tells you what the series is about, you're gonna have a wonderful.
Yeah. I don't know where to put this in our anime reviews or our movie reviews, so I'll probably just put both intro. I'll do an intro for both. I'll play both intros because guys, this thing has grossed over $500 million. I had to read that right. I was like, no, there's no fucking way. When I saw it on Wikipedia.
I thought they were like trolling.
Yeah.
Are the anime fans like changing this stuff?
No.
It sounds real.
400 currently, and it's still making money because we just came from seeing it. $469 million worldwide, becoming the highest grossing film of 2020, as well as making it the first Japanese and the first anime film to reach the milestone of 400 million worldwide in box office. So this is basically, it's smashing records, okay? And there's good reason for it. You can go see it. It's highest grossing film of all time in Japan. Highest grossing R-rated film, animated film of all time. Highest grossing animated film and Japanese film of all time. And the first non-American film to top the yearly box office. So, and due to its success, it was submitted in the Best Animated Feature Film category for 93rd Academy Awards. I don't think it won or got in there, but yeah, fuck that. Anyways, it was fuck the Oscars. It was fucking awesome. And basically, the story boils down to the boys are sent on a mission to figure out what's going on this train. There's disappearances. And a gentleman who had met before, Rengoku, the flame Hanshi, the badass fucking not Hanshi, Hashira, the flame Hashira is already on the train. And he's just eating up a storm. Delicious, you know, he's just being his boisterous self. And you know, shit starts to go down. The demon that they have to contend with is fantastic for plot. It's wonderfully picked because it is dealing with dreams. And it's like, how do you fight
middle tower is under attack.
Basically pulling
Well, I've seen
Jigglypuff.
You know, so it's like
Jigglypuff and put you to sleep and sort of make you dream beautiful dreams that you don't want to wake up. And so what that does is it lets us explore elements of the series that we haven't seen as viewers of the series. You kind of just know that you know, his parents were murdered. And you never really get to see it. The whole family was murdered. And here he gets time to interact with his family. So Really heart-wrenching, really good. I can see how somebody who has lost literally everything would want to stay in this world. And the more you stay in the dream, the more you're going to end up dead or be unable to come back. So it goes in, and so everybody on the screen falls asleep, including the fucking Haim Hashira. It's like, oh fuck, you know, there goes your elite guy. And everybody has dreams of their own. And so just a great way to explore their backstory, what they care about, what's in their heads. And some characters kind of get done dirty and put to the side and focus. There's definitely some focused on characters here. We'll talk about that in spoilers. About what is in our Zenitsu's head. Anyways, Zenitsu is the lightning guy for the new people.
This guy's kind of annoying.
And Osuki, yeah, he was actually, because he wasn't in it quite as much, he was toned down from the series. So if you found his screaming and yelling annoying, brace yourself for the series. It's like, there's like 3 or 4 episodes of it non-stop. That's like the only criticism me and Joe had of that.
Your middle tower
but he's kind of toned down here because he's in the background. This film is more centered around, of course, our main character, Tanjiro, and Susuke. Zenitsu is there with, of course, sister character. And, you know, so they basically just have to fight their way out of insurmountable odds. And I'm not going to go into spoilers, but just when I thought the film was over and I was like, wow, that was a great fucking battle. That was a great thing. Like, there's a moment of calm and then, it's like, oh, fuck. What? Do we? Okay, let's do it.
Swift as the walls of ice.
And we get a whole nother fucking amazing, satisfying sequence with honestly a lore advancing moment. You know, a moment that has a lot of gravity to it, and you're like, whoa. Okay, I didn't expect that to take place, and what does that mean for the future of the series, and how is that going to affect the characters going forward? So, what I'm trying to say is great stakes. Even though it is a side mission, even though it's a little, hey, go check out this train, it turns out to have huge implications, little pieces and bits from the main series on power levels of demons. Fantastic. So, yeah, like I said, if I had to have some criticism, it's maybe give a little bit more to the side characters. You know,
your middle tower is under attack.
So much. She's really powerful, Alex, but you know, she only is able to, you know, kind of do one scene, one really good scene that they play twice because they were thinking he was thinking about what she had done. But it's just for people who haven't seen the series, there's no recap. I thought you said they did a good job of recapping, and I think that was you that said that went in there. I thought maybe there would be a sequence at the beginning that kind of brought people like Alex on the screen.
You have to read.
Yeah, you have to do your homework.
It's not a lot. Like I said, you only have to read a couple sentences, but if you don't read a couple sentences,
Radiant's courier has been killed.
Anyway, fuck it. Let's go to final verdicts so we can jump into spoilers.
Yeah, there's
so much you can talk about because the plot is here's the thing. Another criticism might be the plot is super fucking simple, but it's satisfying.
Yeah,
that's what I like.
Let's go.
We're on a train. There's demon. Figure it out. Let's do it, and we'll go insane power levels. And the action, I never thought you would reach the fucking Dragon Ball Z Broly levels and stuff because that's galactic expansion, that's planet destruction. But they do that. They reach those levels within the time period and the limitations, and it's just appropriate for that level. Levels in extreme, they're individual fucking names. You know, water form, fifth form, sixth form. They go first, second, third, fourth. You know, they go all over form. I know. I know. I just love it when they announce.
Let's go.
I like it when they announce their attacks, but Alex is right. That is tactically very.
It's a silly thing. It didn't detract from it. It's still silly.
Anyway, so I am so glad I saw this theaters, and I think you will be too. Let's go to final verdict.
Final verdict for me is a 9 out of 10. You must go see this film. The thing, my little gripe I had was.
No spoilers.
I know it's anime, but at a certain time I was like, come on. it kind of took me out of the
I
scene.
have to know what you're talking about. No,
I'm not gonna say. Yeah, I was like, all right. I was like,
Oh.
okay, that kind of took me out. I was like,
Here I come.
Then
All right,
after that, like the ending scene and everything else really tugged at my heartstrings. I was like, man, I've been doing a long journey with these guys because I saw season 1.
Right.
It was epic. Even he said season 2 or whatever. He's like, he's turned down. He's coming down for this.
I'm not on.
Which makes him more powerful. But overall, I thought
Indeed.
Yeah.
it was close to 10.
Yeah, I really like this. I think that this is one, you should go support this if you just like anime and you like film. And 2, you should support this because this is the kind of thing that we want. We want people who are passionate about the stories and making them and sending them to movies, and it lets the movie industry know that this kind of stuff is something that would never have happened years ago, right? Because it's something making $500 million. It's an anime movie.
Into the breach.
During a time where nobody wants to go to the
like
fucking
this, it's an important thing to support, as you know,
I
because
thought as much.
if you want more of that, which we do. This is something that you should do. I like the simple
Here's
plot.
ice
I
in
think
your
it works
eye.
really, really
Your
well.
middle tower
it
is under
definitely goes to
attack.
crazy town to a point where it actually. I was happy with the movie, and I thought it was about to end, and I was like, oh, cool, this is awesome. And then it went to this
Here I
place that
come.
I actively do not like, and I don't like it when any sort of when things go crazy town and the tension goes away
Agreed.
because you don't know how anything is done. And then that part ends.
I must have forgotten.
And then that part ends, and then it goes to a really amazing place that I didn't think it was going to, with satisfying fights.
Into the breach.
I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10.
Okay. And that makes total sense from a brand new people. And I wish the
Direct
film was a little
instructions
more
are
friendly to new people coming in, because I want the entry point to be as easy as possible. But if I were to
Indeed.
recommend to you an entry point, I'd recommend going to the season and then watch the sequel. I wouldn't watch the sequel
battle.
series and then go into the season, though I think it would have been great if it was just as easy both sides. But do watch it.
Down
no matter what,
you
do watch
go.
it because it's fucking amazing. I want to go 10 out of 10. I really do. That's what I think
I
that it
move.
deserves. It's just, you know, the only thing that bothers me is the, you know, lack of a recap for new people.
Let's go.
And, you know, I wish we would have been able to spend a bit more time with Rengoku.
I'll not
I
argue.
want to see more from the Hashira, right? Exactly, because this is where Tanjiro is eventually trying to get to, is to Hashira. And Tanjiro has, you know, water, he has flames, and this guy is like the ultimate flame guy. So I just want
Your
to see
middle
more from
tower
him
is under
and
attack.
get more from him and get, I think, a bigger emotional impact at the end of the film, even though it has a fantastic emotional impact. So I'm just basically
Yes.
reaching and crawling for criticisms. I think if this is any
Down.
indication of what's to come, because here's the thing, it barely scratches the surface of the universe, and as a
Your
Demon
top
Slayer
tower is
fan,
under attack.
a new fan,
Fangs
I'm
slice.
super excited about where it could go. But then I realized that, wait, it's already over. I looked it up, and it like ended in 2020, but people are wondering, is it
Here
going
I
to
come.
continue? Are they going to do a side story, do something else? And it has been announced that Rengoku might get a side series. It might continue, but some people are saying, no, it shouldn't continue. You know, don't overstay your welcome. So we're in the heyday of Demon Slayer right now. But after watching this movie, it's like, this is only, the
My
demon
eyes
that they
fight
faced was so fucking powerful, and he's only, what, high 3 or something like that, where there's a bunch of other levels that you can get to. And then, of course, the motherfucking boss of the whole thing, that all of these motherfuckers are using his blood, you still have that.
Thanks.
That needs to be done in a movie
I thought as much.
with this type of animation.
You need more time.
I really want to give it a 10.
I move.
Don't believe this.
Your bones will
Let's
make a
go.
fine powder.
I'm giving it. That's fine. I should give it a 9. I know. Here's what it is. The fan in me gives it a 10. The critic in me gives it a 9. Because as a fan, it's so satisfying because you have to already have seen it to get the additional context of everybody's
Agreed.
little individual backstories and people that didn't get much screen time, like Rengoku
Forward.
and his sister. These people
Your top
get
tower is
they're fleshed out, and so you have all this extra context with them, so you don't mind so much when they don't have a lot of screen time. So yeah, just fantastic. I love every minute, every frame. If anything, it's like, oh man, now season 2's animation is gonna seem like it's crap compared to this, right? Because this is like they have a budget and they can just go crazy in the movie. Are all the attacks gonna look this fucking amazing when we get to season 2 and I don't know, season 3 and all these other things? So wow, just fantastic. Thank you everybody for telling us to go watch this, and I would like to now tell y'all who have maybe not gone out to the theater yet or want to find a way to watch it, definitely go out and see it.
Let's go.
Watching it on that big screen, Joe, I missed
Into the breach.
Oh,
That's the last one I was.
Yeah, that's the one
it almost felt unreal, like I was in a dream on how big the screen was after being home so much, and then the speaker system and the music here, and it was just fucking amazing. It makes me realize how much I actually missed the theater. So hopefully the stupid pandemic bullshit gets calmed down and people get vaccinated and we can get back to theaters, because that experience seemed like
The ice wolves bite.
all this stuff. Anyway, great.
Your bottom
Let's get to the spoilers discussion, and a lot to talk about there. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you on the next Angry Joe Show.
Here I
Bye,
come.
guys.
Swiftly. Haste. Into the breach. Here's ice ride. Your fate is always crystal clear. I thought as much.
The enemy's top tower has fallen.
On.
What do you buy?
Agreed. Attack. Indeed. Let's go.
The enemy's bottom tower has fallen.
Die. This one. Oh, my temperature's dropping. Battle finish. Here I come. I move. Yes. I'll not argue. Faster. Yes. I move.
This should make my life
You're dead, and that's a cold, hard fact.
My son.
Let's go.
Dire's
I thought as
structures
much.
are fortified.
I'm burning up. Once burned, Swiftly. Here I come. Into the breach. That's cold.
Your top tower is under attack.
Forward. I'll freeze you fast. Agreed.
The enemy's middle tower has fallen.
I'll not argue. Allies. To battle. Ow. On. I'll not argue.
This will do nice.
Forward. Faster. Down you go. Yes. I thought as much. Let's go.
The enemy's top
Here I
tower
come.
has fallen.
Yes. Swiftly. I'm under attack.
Nicely done.
Indeed. On. I move. Into the breach. Agreed. To battle. Swiftly. Faster. The ice wolf's bite. Ice, take you. Yes. I'll not argue.
Bullseye.
Oh, you found me.
Let's go.
Haste!
Agreed. Into the breach. The prize is not very cool of you.
Roshan has fallen to the ring.
On. Indeed. To battle. Here I come. I thought as much. Ah, scepter. Here I come. Swiftly. Agreed. To battle. Forward. Faster. Feel the thing.
Dire's structures are fortified. Double damage.
Into the breach. This'll come in handy. I move. I'll not argue. Let's go.
The enemy's middle tower has fallen.
I move. Here I come. Indeed. Guess you didn't know a little game of freeze tag could turn lethal. Fangs of ice. I thought as much.
Assassination is nature's way.
Very cool of you.
The enemy's middle tower has fallen.
I'll not argue. To battle.
Dire's courier has been killed.
Yes.
The enemy's middle tower has fallen.
Miss me?
Assassination at its finest.
Radiant
Was forced to flee. Like the demon goes down, and he basically goes up against. Well, first off, the first one that they're fighting is a lower rank 1 of the 12. And then at the end, Upper Moon 3 appears after, you know, they deal with the first one. And Kojiro fights him alone. Just an amazing, amazing battle. But unfortunately, even him at his full power is not able to take care of him. And he basically pushes him to the limit in order to get a little bit of his neck cut, about halfway. And he's fatally wounded. And it sucked. And he was forced to flee. Like the demon starts fleeing, and you're like, no, dude, don't you fucking run. Don't let him run. And I was like, go fucking, you know, at a moment when you want to scream in the theaters, like, get this fucking ass. Don't let him get away. And I thought they weren't gonna let him get away because you know, our hero Tojiro throws his fucking sword at him. Which, by the way, I guess he's lost his sword now. Yeah, his black colored sword is in that demon. I thought maybe it would jiggle. Like, no. Yeah, it would jiggle the thing, and his head would come off, or maybe him taunting the guy would turn back and start fighting, and the sun would burn him because I don't know.
Sponsored by Raycon. They fit comfortably in your ears, being after a limited theatrical run in Australia, and it's the cinematic equivalent of an overdue stillbirth, being absolutely slated by professional critics, the general audience, and especially by members of the autistic community the film claims to honour. The movie where they had to digitally remove all of the CGI characters' buttholes because somebody thought it was a good idea to include them in the first place was better received than this movie. And we're going to talk about why. Music tells the story of recovering alcoholic and drug dealer Zoo, played by Kate Hudson, who after the death of their grandmother suddenly becomes the sole guardian of her non-verbal autistic younger sister Music, played by Maddie Ziegler. Quick aside, if you're a parent who chooses to name their child Music, you should probably be put on some sort of list and then never allowed into anything. Ever. Being out of her depth, Zoo develops a relationship with her neighbour Ebo, who teaches her how to manage music in a catastrophically wrong fashion, but we'll get to that. Predictably, the two get together by the end, despite having no chemistry, and Zoo embraces her role as Music's caretaker, while Music learns to express herself through singing. The plot isn't worth going through in detail, except where it becomes relevant to the controversies surrounding the movie, which is why we're really here. But even ignoring them, it's not a good movie. It's boring, it drags longer than its short runtime would suggest, it has horrible pacing, and does too much of that awful handheld shaky cam thing I hate so much. A fair few plot points make no sense or are poorly established, its characters are poorly written, and the performances are only decent at best. It does very little to explore its serious themes, and handles them very poorly. God knows why this was nominated for 2 Golden Globes. It didn't win any, and the Golden Globes are a joke, but still. Of course, the shadow hanging over all this was the casting of the non-autistic Maddie Ziegler to play an autistic character, a decision that led to widespread criticism from the autistic community after the trailer dropped back in November. The issue of representation in media is an extremely complex one that I can't possibly go over within the scope of this video, but seeing themselves represented appropriately in media is important to many members of historically marginalised communities, especially given the somewhat mixed record of this up to this point. And a great many people on the autism spectrum were very unhappy with this casting, seeing it as yet another example of a missed opportunity for representation, asking why an autistic actress was not chosen for the role, and accusing Sia of ableism. Now, the sensible thing would have been for Sia to do a press release through a PR agency, or do an interview, or anything vaguely professional. Instead, she took the worst possible approach and responded to dissatisfied people directly on Twitter. And with every reply, the hole she kept digging for herself kept getting deeper. She claimed that she did originally work with a non-verbal actress, but that she found the experience too stressful, and that casting someone at her level of functioning would be cruel. She thought casting Maddie would be more compassionate and best lovingly represent the community.
Bullshit.
She seems like someone who's quite prone to emotion.
I cry at like MasterChef Junior. So.
And when she was immediately called out on this feeble excuse by both autistic actors and autism advocacy groups, her responses became increasingly defensive and hostile. Fucking bullshit, you have no— I can't do it, I'm sorry, I can't do an Australian accent. Fucking bullshit, you have no fucking idea because you weren't there and haven't seen the movie! Grr, fuckity fuck, why don't you watch my film before you judge it? Fury! Oh, that's fucking cringe, Sia, what are you doing? Several autistic actors, myself included, responded to these tweets. We all said we could have acted in it on short notice. These excuses are just that, excuses. The fact of the matter is, zero effort was made to include anyone who is actually autistic. Hashtag nothing about us without us. Maybe you're just a bad actor. Oh, Sia, no. No, what are you doing? This is some Amy's Baking Company levels of bad PR.
That this movie is for them, and if we can try and keep our egos out of it, that would be great.
She also used the excuse that she cast neuroatypical and trans people in the film, and not as fucking prostitutes or drug addicts. A statement that garnered its own backlash and gives off this kind of energy.
If you kick every Latino out of this country, then who is going to be cleaning your toilet, Donald Trump?
Oh, that's no.
In the sense that, you know what I mean? Like,
She did later apologise and delete not only these tweets, but also her entire Twitter account. Although interviews she gave in the months after this show that she hasn't really learned that much. I don't accept that she couldn't have found a good enough actress somewhere on the spectrum, and the excuse becomes less credible when you learn more about her relationship with Maddie. Describing it as close doesn't quite cut it. Starting with Chandelier, Maddie has appeared in many of Sia's music videos, and Sia has said that she didn't want to make anything that didn't involve Maddie.
Because I can't do a project without her, I don't want to. I wouldn't make art if it didn't include her.
Their relationship has gone beyond mere friendship and into more of a mother-daughter dynamic, with Sia considering Maddie her muse.
And Maddie Ziegler, my little dancing muse / surrogate daughter.
She's also expressed the desire to save Maddie from the influence of other adults, such as Abby Lee Miller on Dance Moms, the show where Maddie first garnered attention, and to protect her by creating roles for her.
I want to work with her till the day I die. I actually just keep writing projects for her so that I can keep her safe.
She convinced Maddie to turn down a role that she thought would be bad for her career, which, like most of her statements, ended up being very ironic.
Even recently, she was offered a part in a film, and I felt that the film wasn't good enough for her, and so I called Melissa and I was just, please don't do this. Like, this isn't good for her career. It's not good for her long-term credibility. This is not a good, like, co-star to be in a movie with.
They even quarantine together in the same house and have had a lot of sleepovers where they sleep in the same bed.
In fact, I've got like about 1,000 t-shirts that I had made that just say bonus mum, and it's all I wear.
What the fuck? Let's be honest, that's pretty weird, and it explains why Sia lashed out on Twitter in defense of Maddie and why she defaulted to casting Maddie after the first actress didn't work out.
That I love. I absolutely love. I want it. It's everything.
She's even openly admitted that her decision was made out of nepotism.
I realized it wasn't ableism. I mean, it is ableism, I guess, as well, but it's actually nepotism.
And since she's declared that she doesn't want to do anything without Maddie, I'm strongly inclined to believe that she wanted to cast her all along, but had to create an excuse to do so.
Well, she's done, now, I've actually written a movie for her, so she's done with the music videos, so I haven't just really decided.
You've written a movie script.
Yes.
Now, I don't blame Maddie for any of this. She was 14 years old at the time, clearly under the influence of a close maternal figure and woefully underprepared to play this character. Although naive, she seems to have had the best of intentions and even expressed reservations about it.
And Maddie arrived, and she was living across the road from me at the time, and I could see something was wrong with her. She was pale and she was just unlike herself, and I'd known her since she was 11 and she was 14 now. And I was like, honey, what's wrong? Is there something wrong? And she just burst into tears and she just said, I don't want anyone to think that I'm making fun of them. And I was like, oh, honey, like, I won't let that happen. I was like, I promise I won't let that happen.
Fucking hell, Sia. If you have to even have this conversation, you're probably doing something wrong.
And also, you can have Final Cut. I said, if there's anything in there that makes you feel uncomfortable, then you can have Final Cut.
But she's a young teenager, and you're a mother figure to her, so regardless of what you say, she's not going to want to say no to you. And it's incredibly unfair to put this on her shoulders rather than yours. But even if you don't have a problem with the casting of a non-autistic actress to play an autistic character, which is still an ongoing debate and it's really for autistic people to decide, what you can't deny is that they went about portraying an autistic character in the completely wrong way. They rightfully recognise that people on the autism spectrum are very different from one another and that it's impossible to represent them all in one character. But rather than represent one specific form of autism, apparently out of fear that they would thereby offend somebody...
Maybe it was because I was scared. Maybe it's because I was scared that if I made it clear what her diagnosis was, that then I might offend somebody.
They decided instead to create their own autistic character by amalgamating a series of stereotypical features attributed to autistic people, resulting in what has been widely denounced as an offensive caricature. Now let me be clear, I'm not autistic myself, and I'm not trying to speak for people that are or get offended on their behalf. They are more than capable of doing that for themselves, as indeed they have done. There are a bunch of videos up on YouTube from autistic people giving their perspectives on the movie, which I'd recommend you guys check out. But just because it doesn't affect me personally, that doesn't mean that I can't recognise that this is offensive. Online, I've not seen a single autistic person express anything other than contempt for this movie and this representation. And given the reactions of some of my fans who are on the spectrum themselves, I think I'm in good standing to say that this is, to put it mildly, problematic. The character is a walking stereotype, having features that individual autistic people can have, such as being non-verbal, being sensitive to stimuli, having repetitive vocalizations and hand movements, and so forth. But it's rare for anyone to have all of the characteristics music does, and of course they don't come naturally to this actress, which is why it's considered an insensitive caricature. It's like when Cartman was trying to fake his way into the Special Olympics, except there he was clearly meant to be in the wrong.
Cartman!
It also reminds me of Simple Jack in Tropic Thunder, except the whole point of that was to take the piss out of able-bodied actors who play disabled parts, the exact thing that this movie is doing. Although unlike that time Gary Oldman played a dwarf in Tiptoes, yes that's real, I even did a video on it, I doubt this problem would go away if she were portrayed by an autistic actress. But the fact that she's not makes it 100 times worse. I do believe them when they say they never intended to cause offence or hurt anybody's feelings, but they colossally fucked this up. And it's very clear that they neither did their research properly nor sought input from the autistic community. Sia claims that she had 2 autistic people advising her at all times. But judging by what I've seen of her in interviews, she seems to have been surrounded by yes men and enablers.
And then a few people started telling me, no, you're a director, you should do the movie by yourself, like, you should do it.
So even if this is true, they probably weren't in the best position to speak out. So it really doesn't mean much. And as she later admitted, talking to only 2 autistic people isn't a good way to gauge the experiences of an entire community. Autism charities and advocacy groups would have been a good way to go, but they weren't consulted until after the movie was already completed, which is the backwards approach if you're trying to best lovingly represent the community. And when she decided to bring one of these groups on board, she couldn't even get that right, because she chose to work with Autism Speaks. I won't go into details about why Autism Speaks was such a terrible choice. If you want to know more, check out this video, I'll link it in the description. But just know that they are extremely controversial within the autism community, and they've been widely criticised for their methods and approach. Think of them as being like the Peter of autism, but arguably worse. When she was told about this on Twitter, Sia's response was, "Oh shit. How do you spend 3 years researching autism and not know that Autism Speaks is controversial?" Huh, that was easy. And when even Autism Speaks denounces your movie, you know you're fucked up. But like I said, they clearly didn't do the proper research. Sia said that she was inspired by and wanted to recreate older feel-good movies like Rain Man.
I wanted to make it like the old movies, you know, that like Forrest Gump and Rain Man, and you know, I short described this movie as Rain Man the musical, but with girls.
But Dustin Hoffman worked with autistic men and their families for over a year in order to better understand their experiences, as well as spending a lot of time with the savant Kim Peek, the inspiration for his character in the movie, and this dedication comes across in his performance. But Maddie's research involved watching YouTube videos of autistic kids having meltdowns that were uploaded by their parents. And I really hope I don't have to explain how messed up that is. And Leonardo DiCaprio's performance in What's Eating Gilbert Grape. Except his character isn't even autistic. He appears to be developmentally disabled, which is not the same thing. But even if his character were on the autistic spectrum, that's a terrible way of researching how to play an autistic person. That's worse than watching Keanu Reeves in Dracula in order to learn how to do an English accent.
Of course, sir. If I may inquire, what in fact happened to Mr. Renfield in Transylvania?
Why didn't they spend more time with more people who were actually autistic? Would that have been so hard? This approach also explains why, despite the movie's title and all this talk about representing autism, music is not actually the focus of this story. Her entire character is being autistic. In fact, she isn't a character, she's a prop. She serves as a catalyst for change in others, but remains more or less the same herself. She exists pretty much solely to facilitate the relationship between Zoo and Ebo, and is treated more like a pet than a person with autonomy. There are several scenes where other characters minimize or downplay her agency. At one point, Ebo, who is supposed to know what he's talking about, says that she's incapable of change.
I'm not saying she doesn't want to change. I'm saying she can't change.
Which is a horrible way to think about anyone, especially since you're the one who's supposed to know how to take care of her. What the fuck? This interviewer even inadvertently likens music to an object, and Sia does nothing to correct her.
Is almost like a parallel to the main story here, which is here's this person who can't speak. You know, she might as well be like an inanimate object like a wig, except there's so much going on in there.
This whole interview is a goldmine of cringe, by the way. But it's worse than music being an object. She's actively infantilized.
It's a pure.
Yeah.
And that's what I've always found with the special abilities people that I've fallen in love with, is this purity.
Music is portrayed as innocent and childlike, and in line with Sia's assertions about her having special abilities, she sees the world in a fantastical way, and this is the justification for the music videos that intersperse the film, which are supposed to represent her interpretations of reality. After all, this is a musical, which is kind of weird because Sia repeatedly says she hates musicals.
This is not, well, no one's breaking out in song.
I literally hate, loathe musicals.
And that comes across, as the songs overstay their welcome and none of them really stand out. Oh, and there are multiple scenes involving strobe lighting that could cause seizures in people with photosensitive epilepsy, even within the first 30 seconds of the movie, with no warning. So yeah, thanks for that, Sia. Good job. Oh, and a lot of autistic people have issues with sensory overload. If there's a lot of stimuli coming in, it can be very difficult for them to process and sometimes very distressing. So, if you want autistic people to watch your movie, Sia, maybe don't make the music videos really loud and bright.
And for the musicals, I wanted it to be very high density color.
But back to music, her non-verbal autism is portrayed as some kind of wonderful thing, which I guess is better than demonizing it, but it's also very patronizing. She's like some kind of cutesy alien. Autistic people don't see the world in this whimsical way, and this is a condescending interpretation of their experience. Autistic people are just that. People, and they deserve to be treated as such, warts and all. South Park, a show that had an episode called Cripple Fight, showed its disabled characters more respect than music does. Even fucking Mac and Me, one of the worst movies ever made, handled representation better than this piece of shit. How sad is that? And everything in music's life is sunshine and rainbows, and we don't see her experiencing the difficulties and social stigma that many autistic people unfortunately experience. The whole thing is so woefully tone deaf, which is funny coming from a musician.
What I wanted to do was like break your heart and then put it back together again and give you a Hollywood ending.
This is a feel-good fantasy, a classic example of inspiration porn that was made to make its creator feel better about themselves without actually doing anything to help the people they're claiming to help.
That we're here because we care about the autism community, and we care about the caregivers, and we care about all of the people on the spectrum and all of those who are being represented in film.
But if that was true, Sia, then you should have done your homework properly and not dismissed those autistic people who raised concerns about what you were doing. And there is absolutely no excuse to have included the two worst scenes in the entire movie that take music beyond just being a bad, poorly researched, condescending and offensive movie and into actually dangerous territory. There are not one, but two scenes where restraints are used on music while she is in distress. Both of these methods, as they are depicted, are dangerous. And when I watched this with my girlfriend, who's trained in proper crisis intervention and de-escalation techniques, she was horrified. These scenes are quite distressing, and I've been told that they can be triggering, so if you'd rather not watch them, skip to here. In the first scene, Ebo picks her up and then slams her directly onto the floor, then lays on top of her in a supine position, pressing her into the ground, saying he's crushing her with his love, which sounds incredibly creepy. This is absolutely not an appropriate way to help music calm down or express what she needs in this situation, and is likely to cause her more stress both now and in the future. And it's not even safe for him, because she could still headbutt him, spit at him, or bite him. There are proper techniques that make use of pressure in order to calm such a person down and make them feel safe, but this is definitely not one of them. In the second scene, Ebo encourages and teaches Zoo to climb on top of music and pin her fully to the ground in a prone position, which is even more dangerous than a supine restraint. They make no effort to de-escalate, encourage her to communicate what's causing her distress, or lead her away from the situation. They go straight from 0 to 100 by putting her in a position that's been proven on multiple occasions to be potentially lethal. This is one of the worst ways to restrain someone, and it should only be used as a last resort in an emergency, and even then only on certain people. But that's not how these restraints are portrayed in the movie, and that context is important. If the movie were condemning this, it would be a different story. But Ebo is presented as someone who knows what he's doing, and on both occasions, these are shown to be the right methods to calm music down. And it's a sign of Zoo's growth as a caretaker that she's able to use this technique. Are you starting to see how absolutely fucked up this is? Some people who see this movie and don't have any other context or understanding of the lives of autistic people or how to address their needs are going to think that this is acceptable when it couldn't be more abhorrent. And that's why this movie isn't just ignorant, it's dangerous. I want to be mad about this, but I'm mostly just flabbergasted at how they thought this was in any way acceptable. Like, what the fuck, Sia? In order to cover her ass after the resulting outrage, Sia said that a warning would be added to the start of the movie. That music in no way endorses or recommends the use of restraint on autistic people. Which is complete bollocks. You can't have it both ways, Sia. She also said she plans to remove the restraint scenes from all future printings, but this was a digital release, so why couldn't she have just removed them already? In fact, why did she even film them in the first place? You did 3 years of research and thought this was okay? What were you doing the whole time? Watching Shane Black movies?
You know, a lot of experts say that being on the spectrum isn't really a disorder. That's actually the next step to understanding.
You need to shut the fuck up!
She says the film was inspired by a low-functioning autistic friend of hers, but that should have been all the more reason to get it right. Would she be alright with this happening to her friend? She may have had good intentions, but she clearly had no idea what she was doing and comes across as a massive idiot. And despite sort of apologising, she continued to make condescending remarks about neurodivergent people, which doesn't give me much faith in her powers of introspection. She seems to have not known what she wanted as a director, and the way that she describes the process, it sounds like it was very chaotic and disorganised. And they spent 4 years re-editing this to get something that she considered worth releasing, which is just solid proof that no matter how hard you try, you cannot polish a turd. And no matter how you look at this, it smacks of being a vanity project. It should come as absolutely no surprise that she gives herself a cameo, as a pop star who wants Zoo the drug dealer to buy prescription painkillers off the streets so that she can fly them out to kids in Haiti who need them for surgery.
Pop stars without borders.
It seems like she was trying to do a self-aware joke here, but it inadvertently makes her look even more out of touch than she already did.
I asked Vince, my producer, to help me, and he came and he whispered into my ear at one point, "You're coming off a little bit unlikable. Is that what you want?" And I was like, yes.
In fact, during the course of my research, she came across as borderline delusional.
I really believe we ended up with the best film because we came to work every day with good intentions. That this will be my final big hurrah. Like, I'm so proud.
What a note to end on. This film was such a waste of potential. They had a great opportunity to tell a story about what life is like for a low-functioning autistic person with echolalia, to show us how such a person could learn to express themselves through music and say something about how autistic people are treated in our society. Instead, they present this very unrealistic, ableist, and very shallow take on this topic, perpetuating offensive stereotypes about autistic people and having everything end all hunky-dory for music despite how grossly irresponsible and ill-informed all of the adults in her life are. Yeah, scream your head off next to a person you know is sensitive to noise. Well done. The autistic character they made such a big deal about representing takes a back seat to the non-autistic characters who are boring and unsympathetic. And the movie's other themes, like poverty, addiction, and HIV, are only explored at the most basic and unfulfilling level. Oh yeah, Ebo has HIV, but it's as inconsequential as Henry Rollins' 30-second cameo. Oh, and there's another subplot with this boy that goes nowhere. And I haven't even talked about the accusations of blackface, or about Ebo being a magical Negro character, which I myself don't see, but I'm not even touching that one. And there's a bunch of other stuff I could complain about, but none of it matters in comparison, so who gives a shit? You guys get the idea. I regularly put myself through terrible movies for a living, but I've not felt this uncomfortable watching a movie in a long time. Don't buy this shit. Not even out of morbid curiosity. It never approaches funny bad territory, and the cringe is not worth it. To offset the fact that I spent actual money on this, I chucked a bit of money to some worthy causes. And I'd suggest you guys do something similar. Let's make some good come out of this shit show. Sometimes, good intentions aren't enough. You also need to listen, and you need to learn. And sometimes, as with Sia, you just need to shut the fuck up.
And my mind's able to just be like,
Seriously, please shut the fuck up. Gonna try doing the outro in a different way this time. Let's see how it goes. Thanks for watching, folks. If you enjoyed the video, do give it a like and a share and all that good stuff. Thanks as well to that person who offered to give me the R-word pass. I respectfully decline, but thank you all the same. If you want to support the channel, check out the sponsor Raycon, pick up some merch over on Bonfire, pledge your support on Patreon, or become a YouTube channel member. Not only will you get to join all these lovely people on screen, but you'll also get early access to uncensored versions of videos without ads or sponsorships. Follow me on Twitter and join my public Discord server if you want to stay up to date with stuff, and I will see you in the next one. This mic smells of plastic and very fluffy.
Your middle tower is under attack. Your middle tower has fallen.
As ever.
phantom strikes.
Taken before my time.
I'll take that as tribute. Of course. My reach is long. More souls for me. Save this for later. Your mind, heart, and soul. I'll take that. Soul collected. As ever. I know. This one is
Assassin.
soul collected. Not yet.
Service to the realm.
You won't be seeing me around.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
More souls for me. Discharge.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
Is an honor. My reach is long.
Dire's courier has been killed. Your bottom tower is under attack.
Into the fray.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
Indeed. Onward. The tool is your soul.
isn't for dead. Your bottom tower is under attack. Your bottom tower has fallen. Your bottom tower is under attack. Your top tower is under attack. Your top tower has fallen. Your top tower is under attack.
Another.
Judging the play.
Fresh mate! Becoming. Serve you right.
Your top tower is under attack. Your top tower is under attack. No!
I free you from sends me home. Lovely. This cannot hold me. More souls for me. Indeed. The goal is your soul. Double damage! As ever. Soul Collector.
Dire's courier has been killed.
Invisibility.
Yes. Never fear.
I'll take that as tribute.
The enemy's middle tower has fallen.
I know. My reach is long. Indeed. Hunter style. Your soul is mine.
Double damage.
As ever.
Roshan has fallen to the ground.
Something else.
Here I am.
Oh, yes. I'll take that. More souls for me. Soul Collector. Of course. Never fear. Into the fray. I sense souls. Souls beckon.
Your top tower is under attack. Can't bear to be seen. Your bottom tower is under attack.
Sit long. Souls beckon. I know. Soul collector. Never fear. Of course. Into the fray. Let your soul. I'm open all night. More souls. More souls for me. Illusion. Into the fray. I sense souls.
Dire's structures are fortified.
I know. Another soul for me.
enemy's top tower has fallen.
Double damage. My reach is long. He's my Hidok. Oh, yes.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
My power. Double kill. Should be honored.
Your bottom tower has been denied. The enemy's middle tower has fallen. The enemy's middle barracks has fallen. The enemy's middle barracks has fallen. The enemy's bottom tower has fallen.
Chin chopper, chin chopper.
Your actions are without merit.
What did you learn?
Your top tower is under attack. Your bottom tower is under attack. Your song has fallen to radiate.
Regeneration. I sense souls. More souls for me. I'll take that. Bloody sword. Face your death.
structures are fortified. The enemy's middle tower has fallen.
Bet you're glad to see me again.
You can never hide. Look good. Never fear. With his sword, go for my master. Indeed. That's nice. As ever. Of course. Soul collector. Another soul for me. As ever. Forward. Butterfly.